I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to this series on inverse of a function. We are discussing how to find inverse of a function from given equation. In part 1, we looked into finding inverse of a function when we are given a graph or different conditions, right? Mapping diagrams, table of values, coordinate points. And now we will discuss how do we calculate or find inverse of a function when the equation is given to us, right? So I've taken 3 different types of equations. This video is going to be lengthy as we are going to discuss all the 3. We have few more videos on different kinds of equations where we took radical functions, the square root functions and things like that. But let's see first how to find inverse of a function when it is given in a linear equation form. Y equals to 2x minus 5 is my equation to work with. The method will be same, right, for any linear equation. So the first step always when we see into it is to swap x and y and then solve for y. So normally from equations you could always do mathematically, but we have one more way of solving, and that is, as you know, inverse of a function is reverse operation, right? So inverse is also reverse operation. Now at times it may become very difficult to see the reverse operations, but in a linear case like this it is easy to explain, and that's why I'm trying to solve this using reverse operation. So the statement here is in the form of the equation y equals to 2x minus 5. That means if I have to find the value of y, what do? I multiply the input by 2 and then take away 5, right? So what we do is, whatever we have as an input, let's discuss this a bit, right? So we have this function here and we get some input from here, right? So input, and then that is the output, and that's the function part, right? So what we do here is we first do times 2 and then we take away 5, right? So that is the operation. So that is the operation. But when we go in the reverse direction, then we get this, and this is your inverse function, right? So we have to do it in the reverse operation. So what is the reverse operation here, which we call as the inverse function? So the reverse operation is, to any number which is here this time, we'll say this number x, you add 5, that's the reverse, right? Undo what you did, and then divide by 2, and then divide by 2. So that becomes the inverse of the function. Do you get the concept? So inverse is actually reverse operation. So if you think like this, you may immediately get the answer. So that is excellent way of writing inverse of a function. Now let's do mathematically, right? So let's do mathematically. So we'll follow all the steps. First step is swap x and y. First step is swap, change, right, x, y coordinate points, right? So change it to yx. This is my first step, which should be always, right? So we'll write this equation as x equals to 2y minus 5. That's the first step. And the second step is solve for y, right? So always you'll find that these are the 2 steps, step 1 and step 2. So let's solve for y now. Solving for y means taking 5 this time is 2y, and what is y? Divide by 2. Perfect. Done. So what we get is exactly what we had written earlier. Perfect, right? So we can write inverse of this function is, you could also write this as half x plus 5 over 2. But both are same things. I hope these steps are absolutely clear, and that is how we'll find inverse of a function. Is that true? Okay, let's do the other 2 equations. Now, as an exercise, I would like you to estimate the inverse from reverse operation, right? So let's estimate. I'm not sure whether that's right or wrong, but anyway, let's estimate by reverse operation. Let me write down this answer. So we say inverse of this. I'm not writing x here. It may not be a function. As you know, inverse of a parabola is not going to be a function, right? So I'm being careful. We are not writing x. So the equation is Whatever is the input, you take away 2, square, take away 9. So whatever is the input, take away 2, square it, take away 9. Reverse operation. Let's move from here. Add 9. That is the first thing, right? So input is always x, add 9 plus 2. Then square root, okay, done, square root. Whenever you do square root, you have to do plus and minus, and then add 2, and then add 2, right? So you get your inverse function by reverse operation. Isn't that so good, right? Okay, but is it right or wrong? Let's follow the method. So first step, swap x and y. Let's go quickly through it. X equals to y minus 2 whole square minus 9. Bring 9 this side. We get y minus 2 whole square. We have to square root plus minus, of course. X plus 9 equals to y minus 2. Bring 2 this side. 2 plus minus square root x plus 9 is equals to y. So f inverse is equals to 2 plus minus square root x plus 9. Do you see that? We got the same result. That's what I'm telling you, right? So in inverse operation, you could actually find the solution by reversing the operations, correct? Now, it is not a function. Why? For every value of x, we may have two values, plus and minus. So it is not a function. Do you see that? Not a function, okay. Now we'll get into domain range, not function, function in other parts of the videos, since I've already extended this to so many minutes, I don't know. Okay, let's do this one now. So I'm leaving this reverse operation part for you. It's kind of very tricky, so I'm not touching it on this side. You should not always try it. That's the word of caution. These two were good candidates. This was tricky. Okay, anyway. So let's perform these steps. They are very, very good steps. Perfect. So swap x and y. So we get x equals to 1 over y minus 5. Now you have to solve for y. It is tricky. But simple way is cross multiply. So what I do here at this stage is cross multiply. That really helps. So whenever you have rational functions, right, cross multiply. So we get y minus 5 equals to 1 over x. Does it make sense to you? So simple, right? Y equals to 1 over x plus 5. Done. This is the inverse of the function given to you. Well, some of you may like to take common denominator and may write this as 1 plus 5x. Not bad, right? And some of you may even write this inverse, it is a function, as 5x plus 1 over x. All are correct, right? So that is how you could actually write inverse of this function. This, that, or this, perfectly fine. But I hope with this you understand all these steps involved to find inverse of the function. In coming videos, I'm going to take some really complicated cases, and that's why students come to my videos, because we talk about real questions, right? So this is what it is, right? I hope you appreciate it. If you want, you can put some likes, share with your friends, and feel free to write your comments. Thank you, and all the best.